Hi guys, Laura here. Today I'm here to do my July read and August to be read. I read only 6 books, almost 7 this month. Wasn't my best reading month, but I did really read everything and love everything that I read, so that was really good. But I only read 6 books. The first book I read was Embrace by Jessica Shervington. I like this book a lot. I gave it 5 stars. I did a complete review of it in one of my review mashup, so I will link that below. Thought it was a really good, impressive start to a series. It was a little bit weaker, but that normally happens when you are starting a fantasy book series. But I've been really excited to get my hands on Entice to see where the series goes now that the foundation is laid. But it was a really good book, really, really strong characters, really interesting premise. It's a very interesting take on angels that I haven't read before. So I highly recommend it if you haven't read it and you like angels and supernatural stuff, because it was really good. The characters were also really strong, and it was just a good story. The next one I think will even be even better now that we have the world building kind of out of the way. The next book I read was Landline by Rainbow Rowell. I got this at BEA, so I read it a few days before it came out. I loved it. This is the second book I read by Rainbow, and I absolutely adored it. It was the first adult book I read by her, but it was such a compelling book. It was really interesting, and it had a little bit of a supernatural twist, which I wasn't expecting. But I also gave it 5 stars. I did a full book review of it, non-spoiler, and I will link that below. Really good. If you like Rainbow Rowell, I really think you like this. Her voice is just as unique as ever, and the story was really interesting, so I highly recommend it. The next book I read was Red Glove by Holly Black. This was the second book in the Curse Worker series by Holly Black, and I adored it. I gave it 5 stars. It was a great continuation of the series. It had a lot of interesting twists and turns that I did not expect. The ending was just as more shocking, and I cannot wait to see where Blackheart ends. I plan on reading it July, as I will get to later. Very good book, very, very strong. Even more world building. We learned a lot more. There was a lot more secrets revealed, and the world of Curse Workers was really developed. So I'm really excited to see where all these characters wind up at the end of the series and to see what happens to Cassell. The next book I read was Chapel Wars by Lindsay Levitt. I also gave this book like 4.5, 5 stars. It was the first contemporary I read this month, and I really liked it. It's just set in like a really interesting setting, and the romance was really interesting. I did a full book review, so I will link that below. Really good. I really wanted to read more by Lindsay Lovett. I know she wrote Going Vintage, which is another interesting contemporary that I hope to get my hands on soon. But 5 stars. If you like romance with a little bit more of self-discovery thrown in, then I think you'd really like this book. It was also more about finding yourself and romance and what you want to do with your life. So it was a very, very good book. I highly recommend it. The next book I read this month was The Blueberry Muffin Murder by Joanne Fuca. This book was the lowest rating I gave this month. I gave it I think I gave it 4 stars. The only reason I gave it 4 stars was the second the killer walked on this page, I knew who it was. So the mystery was not as developed as I would like it to be, but the world and the characters and the story, other than the murder, was really interesting. How she got involved in the murder and all that other stuff was really, really cool. It was a really good book. The book was 5 stars. The mystery was 3. So I said, you know what, I'll call the difference and I'll give the book 4 stars. But if you like Hannah Swanson, if you like how she gets caught up in all these interesting turns of events and winds up solving all these mysteries, I think you'd really like it. I just think the mystery wasn't as well put together as I would have liked it to be. But I have high hopes for the next one, and I'm excited to get my hands on it shortly. The next book I read this month was Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I really like this book. I gave it 5 stars. I'll link my review below. I just did it, so you can go check out that. But it was really good. A very, very strong start to a kind of companion book series. It was a romance slash self-discovery slash a really, really cool setting. So I highly recommend, if you like romance, I highly recommend you check it out and check out her other books as well. Also, the last book I read this month was Queen of the Channeling by Erica Johansson. I'm about maybe 50 pages left in it. I really like it so far. I'll wait to get my full rating, but it's a really good high fantasy novel. I haven't read a whole lot of these recently, so it took me a little while to get into it, and world building is kind of important. But I'll do a full book review once I'm done with it. I might try to finish it tonight. We'll see what my time allotment is. Now we'll move on to August to be read. August is my birthday month, so I'm really hopeful to get a lot of books read this month and hopefully receive some books for my birthday from friends and family. But yeah, so the first book, these are libraries, so I have to read them relatively quickly. But the first book I want to read is The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings. I've heard a lot about this, a lot of really good reviews. So I got it out from my library. The cover looks awesome, and so does the barcode. So I think it's about a society that has to do with murder, and people are killed, and you don't know what. And there's 2 lead characters, and I'm really excited to get my hands on this. The next book is the highly anticipated Black Heart, which is the last book in the Curse Worker series by Carly Black. I just read the second one in July, and I really want to get my hands on it and see what happens to Cassell and all his relatives and family and see how the series ends, and hopefully to get a few more books by Holly Black because I really, really like her writing. In the whole month of July, and hopefully probably in August, I have been listening to City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare. I have about 4 hours left, so I'm really, really close. But I'm starting school in September, and I'm going to be traveling, so bringing this monster of a book into the city with me is probably not going to happen. So I really want to finish this while I'm still home. So directly after I finish reading these 2 books, and directly after I finish reading City of Lost Souls, I will probably read this just because it's a monster. But I really want to finish the series, and I really want to be well prepared so I could read Iron Trial by Cassandra Clare next month, and it's a little bit easier so I'll be able to lug it to the city. But this is this is a highly anticipated book that I have not been spoiled, so don't spoil me, but I'm really excited to see where the series winds up. Now these books are I hope to read them in the next month, but these books will definitely carry over into September if I don't. But I really would like to read Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. This is the second book in Stephanie Perkins' series, and Island Happily Ever After comes out this month. I will be buying both of these on my Kindle, so I can read them whenever. I don't have like library issues, but I really want to get my hands on them, and I'm really excited to read them. And the first book was really, really good, and I heard really good things, so I'm excited to get my hands on them. The next book I hope to read is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. I read Cinder in May, and I loved it. And this is kind of similar. It's kind of like a bunch of companion books, but they all are directly connected to each other. So I'm really excited to see where this character book and where the series goes, and hopefully to get my hands on Cress. I know the Book Depository has a paperback copy, which is what I want, so hopefully with my birthday money, I'll be able to treat myself to it. The last 3 books I want to get to in August is Bloodlines by Rochelle Mead. I would like to read Bloodlines, Golden Lily, and Indigo Spell. Well, that's all the books I hope to read in August. As I said, it's my birthday month, so I hope I can find some extra time. But I hope to read between 8 and 9 books that month. And my birthday's August 9th, so maybe I'll get lucky and that will be the amount of books I read. But let me know what you guys have read in July. Hope to read in August. If you guys have read any of the books, what did you guys think of them? Connect to me on my sites. I will link them all below. And I hope you guys are having a good day, and check out my future videos, and have a very nice day, and thanks for watching. Bye!